Raiders, bitch! Welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast, your go-to source for everything on the Las Vegas Raiders. Whether you're a diehard motherfucker like me, just getting to know Raider Nation, our passionate hosts are here to bring you all the excitement on Raiders football. I'm Shit Show Joe, and welcome to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. Let's go, Raiders! If not, fuck your team.
And welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. I'm your host, Raider Will, and I am here with my boy, Tony B from TBH Spoken. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Hey, guys, today we are doing our Jim Otto Remembrance Show. We got Gardner Minshew versus Aiden O'Connell. And lastly, we got which rookie will have the biggest impact on the team this year. So, guys, we're going to lead off with our Jim Otto remembrance. And, hey, our brother Tony B, take the lead on that, big dog.
Man, if you can write down on a piece of paper attributes of who you believe a true Raider is, he checks all the boxes. He played in an era that was probably one of the toughest in football. I mean, he played a position that he was in the trenches on a daily. It wasn't an easy spot. The definition of a true Raider. Did it the right way. And a funny story I have is we were at the CTE meeting in Oakland, which is the Commitment to Excellence meeting that they have, where they do an award. And it was the last year of Charles Woodson. I think he had retired the year before, maybe like a year or two, and maybe that was his last season, and he got the award in the off season. And it's in Oakland, and I show up, and we're not supposed to ask for autographs. It's a black tie dinner. It's not the time or the place. And I didn't think about it. Like, I had bought a couple items before I went there, and I have this helmet, this mini helmet, and I see Jim Otto walk out from the bathroom, and someone starts talking about if his prosthetic leg being a Raider prosthetic leg. And we're in a black tie dinner. I'm coming around the corner. I'm just seeing him. I'm like, that's Jim Otto right there. And he proceeds to go, "Oh, do you want to see the leg?" Unbuckles his pants, drops his pants in the middle of this black tie dinner with everybody in suits and ties. And there he is with his pants around his ankle and his leg, prosthetic leg showing, and it's all rated up. So then I think somebody comes over and kind of helps him get his pants up. He walks around the corner and sits down. And then he was all like, said something about I heard him say something about autographs. And then you started seeing people walk up to him and ask him for autographs. So I'm like, oh man, I'm going to walk by him and I'm just going to get closer to him. And then he's all like sitting there and he's being nice and he's signing autographs. I walk by him and he's all like, "You're next." And he points to the chair that's right by where everybody was sitting. So then I'm like, he offered. I didn't ask. He offered. So I pull out the helmet. I still got it right over here. I'm going to grab it real quick. Hold on a sec.
Grab it real quick.
My bad for not having that ready. But I have it right here with the old school Raider logo. And it says Jim Otto, 00, Hall of Fame, 1981. And I can honestly say that this is one helmet I'll never get rid of. And it was just a very special moment from a very special Raider to me. I have a 00 jersey that I'll be wearing at the home opener, where we'll be live and supporting our Raiders to victory. And I have a good feeling that they're going to do a very... I'm not saying that they are, but I have a feeling that they'll probably do a very nice tribute video on the Jumbotron, because that will be the first time. I would like to see it. And he's very deserving of it. And he's it's a big loss for Raider Nation. He was very he would come over to Mob Alley, over there in Oakland, and he would come by and he would visit, and he was just one of the fans, and it was a tremendous honor to be able to meet him a couple times. And I could say he's one of the last of a dying breed of a true Raider. And so,
I agree, brother. I mean, like, honestly, Jim Otto, from all the stories that I've heard, from all the interactions that people have had with him, everything like that, he's a gentleman and a scholar.
Okay? Hugely.
I mean, he
was
did a lot
the
of
man. I mean, I would love, of course, there's going to be a sticker on the helmet. There's going to be a patch on the jersey. And I think, honestly, the NFL should really look at allowing someone to rewear 00. They brought back 0. So why not bring, like players can wear 0. So why can't players wear 00? I'm not saying to do it. Just because it's Jim Otto, but he brought significance to that. The only other 00 I could think of that really made a difference is Robert Parrish, and that was Celtics. So, like,
you ain't lying. Yeah, no, and I mean, like, when you talk about it, you said Mr. Raider, the guy that resembles Raider Nation, and a guy that the perseverance on the field, 15 years, man, he manned that line, and for him. Bro, he didn't leave the organization. He is the essence of once a Raider, always a Raider. I mean, he stayed with the organization till his dying days. And he's just an amazing human being.
I mean, it was very much a very good experience to say that I had that run-in with one of the best of all times that wore that silver and black. I mean, you might be able to run into your favorite Raider. I mean, I have some Raiders that I hold dear to me for other reasons that I can call my favorite Raider, but I could say that was probably my favorite Raider moment. So,
hey, you know what? You and probably hundreds and hundreds of fans, man. Just meeting that guy, shaking his hand, being in that guy's presence, you knew you were in the presence of greatness, man. Not only just a great player on the field, but a great human being off of it. So, guys, that's our Jim Otto tribute here at the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. We send out our condolences to his family, and you know what? To all of Raider Nation, got nothing but love. And after that, Tone, it's kind of hard, but we're gonna move forward. Hey, Tony, let's talk a little. Let's talk a little bit of the quarterback controversy, baby. I know it's early. I know that you're like, hey, man, we're probably I think it's practice 2 of OTAs right now. Going full tilt, probably going 11 on 11. But let's talk a little bit of Aiden versus Gardner. Tony, in your opinion, what are you looking for at this moment from our quarterback? I know that, hey, we are barely in the preseason. We're barely getting through OTAs. But I think today would be practice 2 or practice 3 of OTAs. So right now, as Tony Bova is head GM of the team, what is Tony Bova looking for from his quarterbacks?
Well, first off, I'm saying there's absolutely no QB controversy. Aiden O'Connell has earned the right to be the number 1 spot. Do I think he'll have the number 1 spot when preseason is over? No. I think Gardner Minshew will win it outright, but I know for a fact that he's got to have to earn it. because Aiden O'Connell has earned the right to at least start the season, preseason, as number one. And it's his spot. It should be his spot to lose. Kind of like we had talked about in podcast back before the interim tag was taken off Antonio Pierce. We were saying like some of those games were must-win games because it was his position to lose. If he didn't finish strong or win, the Christmas game or all that stuff. I believe personally, as this GM, is I would put Aiden O'Connell at one and be like, "You're our starter, but you're on a short leash." Because we know what we get. I mean, we don't have the largest sample size. We do have a season where he was kind of thrown into it. He hasn't really had an off season to work with the system and a whole thing like you normally want your quarterbacks to do. So I believe that with a full preseason and an off season in the system, he should get first. And I don't think he'll be first by the time, because the first mistake is like Gardner knows enough to get by. As you know, he's kind of had our number. But so we know what we're getting in that aspect. So show us a little more, Aiden O'Connell. Get out there and continue to do well and make us, the fans, kind of be quiet and silence the haters, if you can say it. So.
Okay, so you already said, hey, you know what? I expect Aiden to have the position right now, but I also expect him to lose it in the preseason. Okay, now, why is it that you expect him to lose it in the preseason? What is it that you think that he needs to work on, or what is it that he needs to do in order for him not to lose that job in the preseason?
I believe that he's got to show more in his footwork in the pocket. I believe that he needs to be a little bit more mobile. I'm not saying you got to be a Michael Vick, Falcons running all over the place, and he's not that guy. But I need you to be able to move within the pocket, scramble enough to get a few yards, and get down and protect the ball. I don't need 30-yard games from an RPO type option where you take off and you're gone. If you get it and he's open, then of course run and don't go down after 5. But because every time he dropped back, I'm like, sack, or I'm thinking like, is he gonna like? He didn't seem comfortable. I would like to see a little more comfort in the pocket, a little bit of mobility, and with that, the better footwork is going to come with that. So I believe if he can show gains in those 3 spots, I think, and consistent, gains, and it's not the issue of why something's not working, then I believe that's what can push off the chains a little bit longer.
All right, Tom. So I'm going to hit you back with some, okay? So we're looking at it, right? We said, hey, let's look at his work from last year. When we look at it in O'Connell, okay, we look at him through this microscope of saying, hey, what did he do last season? A lot of people go like, oh, yeah, well, he took a lot of sacks. He took a lot of hits. He didn't move the ball. He didn't move well. Well, let's attribute that to him being a rookie. If you looked at our offensive line last year, we had a lot of struggles on offensive line as well. So when you put a lot of components like that together, of course he's going to have struggles, moving around in the pocket. Because if one of the first things that you talk about is pocket awareness, when you're talking about quarterbacks, pocket awareness is huge. But when you're a rookie quarterback, your pocket awareness is low. I mean, like, come on now. First time getting that speed, game speed is faster, things like that. Excuse me. But I think those are things that you can work on. Now, the mobility, this guy's gonna be a Tom Brady. I mean, like the most mobility we can hope for from him is the Tom Brady running like a stork. I mean, like, looks fast running backwards. But what we would like to see is what you said, that pocket awareness where Tom Brady could take one step, make a guy miss in the pocket,
Right.
step up, step back, use your pocket awareness to become effective. So when you do those, go ahead.
There's a lot of factors that contribute to the stuff that we saw that we were worried about last year. There's a lot of factors that go into play, but that's just some of the stuff that he needs to work on to progress a little bit better. I'm not, like I said, I'm not expecting him to be he probably will be a Tom Brady type quarterback, but I know Tom Brady knew how to run to get 3 or 4 if he had to.
No, absolutely. I agree.
And I know that the line wasn't there. It was a very injured line and a rookie in a position that has to take over the game. And he showed flashes of brilliance in that position. But also in those plays that he had that where he's very successful in, the pocket held up. He wasn't rushed. He had his time to get off, and he made the good decisions. And yes, with time, he'll get better. That's why I was saying such a small sample size in the whole picture of it. He will get there eventually. And I think he was going to be a very successful quarterback. And I'm not saying that he's not going to be. I mean, he could be the answer.
He could. Now, there's the question. Now, here is where everybody gets caught up. Okay, I can't sit here and say that he's not a Tom Brady. He's not a guy that as soon as you put Tom Brady on a team, it's like, hey, this team's going to go to the Super Bowl.
Right?
He's not that. But I think this year a lot of people are underestimating the Raiders. I mean, like if you see the numbers that are coming out, some people expect us to have less wins than we did last year. Some people are saying, hey, we dropped in ranking. The draft really didn't help. I'm on the total opposite side. I believe that this year we might make the playoffs. I think we are that team that's right on the cusp, and that this draft has actually pushed us over the cusp, and we got a lot better than a lot of other people think. All right? And this is where we're going to talk later, okay? Because, we're going to talk about which rookie's going to have the best or the biggest impact, okay? And we're looking at it right now, and for Aiden, he got a bunch of more weapons. I mean, like, he got toys everywhere. You got tight end 1, tight end 2. Your best friend and his best friend. You got receiver 1. You got Zamir in the backfield. We secured offensive line. So we should be able to run the rock, pound and protect him a little bit. I think that's going to make him actually the starter for game 1. I'm not saying that he'll start the whole season. But for game 1, when we play the Chargers, right? Or we play the Chargers. We can go in there into that SoFi Stadium. And I think this dude is going to have a tough game. He's going to have a really, really difficult game there. I don't think Harbaugh is going to let him beat him. So I think that's going to be the game that we might see a little bit of the mustache out there, at the helm. But I mean, like, I think we make it to game 1, Tone. I think game 1 is where we make a change, or the bye week.
What's that? Week 11?
Week 11 or week 10. I think bye week. Let me make sure here. All right, I'll tell you right now, Tom.
I think it's week 11. But my thing is another thing with Gardner Minshew is he's got
Week
the
10.
experience. He's got the ability to be able to know the NFL speed of the game, like you were saying earlier. The speed, he knows this part. He's done this. He's been success. We went over it on one of the shows. He had almost, if not better, stats than Trevor Lawrence.
Oh,
So,
dude, he ain't no slouch. Like, let's not get it twisted. Gardner Minshew ain't no slouch. People are sleeping on this dude. This dude is a serviceable quarterback that can come in as a number 2 and start for your team. He's done it plenty of times, man. That's what he does his whole career. If you look at it, bro, people that are having problems at the quarterback position, who do they get? They get Gardner Minshew to come in there, solidify the position for a little bit. They draft a guy, and then, he moves on.
right.
But, I mean, the guy is serviceable. The guy is not some guy that you're like, hey, this guy's a bum.
And I actually went to a couple of his. I mean, this is so long ago, but he went a couple of his college games at WSU because WSU is fairly close to where I live. And watching him, that the support that he got, even in the college level. I mean, the fans. I mean, just dig him. He does. He brings like a spark. There's some, I don't know what it is. It's like the mustache. It's the funniness around him. The little ass boy. Something makes me say that he could win us some games that we shouldn't have won. Like when we're close and we're sitting there and we need that little play. I think he can do it. But I mean, I'm not saying Aiden O'Connell can't. But I'm just saying that I think that he just brings something else that would be why he's at week 1 as the starter.
So, no, I agree with you. Like, look, Gardner Minshew has a lot of the things that we look at that Aiden O'Connell doesn't. Okay? He can move the ball with his feet. He's a guy that he's savvy in the pocket. He can do a lot of different things. But the reason I don't see him starting week 1, okay, is because right now, unless, I mean, like, honestly, Aiden has to fall off the train completely in the preseason. I mean, we're talking he has to be like automatic bench warmer, like scrub type of status. Then I see a change happening. But I just don't see that happening, Tony. And I don't see AP making that type of rash decision just to be like, yo, like, on a whim. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I think what it can be done is like a lot of times people are really talking about like they're playing a preseason game this and preseason game that, but it can be won and lost in practice as well. Like, so it's stuff that we don't see on the everyday, that maybe that locker room presence, that sideline presence, that knowledge in the QB room. Like, I just don't know what I just there's a lot of stuff that's gonna. I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised either way though. I really wouldn't. I mean,
I'd be like, I wouldn't either. But I'm just saying, I feel like AP has really written the Aiden train really hard, and I think he's gonna give him a shot at the beginning of the season. Unless like I said, bro, it's just like, hey, it's interception after interception, and we're just not moving the ball.
Right.
But I just don't see it this year, man. I see development, not only body-wise, mentally, but I mean like a guy that feels like, all right, you know what? This coach got my back. I'm going to get the reps. It's my job to lose.
And what people also don't think about is Jimmy Garoppolo last year did not put a spark under Aiden O'Connell to make him worry that he was losing his position. So with Gardner Minshew hot on his heels every day, pushing him to play better, maybe we see a side of Aiden O'Connell that we just are surprised about.
I agree with you. And this is where, like, hey, competition. And this is what the Raiders are about right now. Competition. If you see what Telesco is talking about, if you hear what AP is talking about, hey, we want to compete at every position. So if you look at it, maybe he gets pushed. Maybe he says, hey, you know what? Now it's my job to lose. Last year it was his job to win. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, hey, Garoppolo, we know what that mess was. Then you got Hoyer, who came in and, that was a mess in Chicago. So he had to come in and win that job. And now he secured it. So now he has a guy pushing him, poking him, prodding him, making him be better because guess what? I'm going to take your job if you're not better.
Right.
So I agree with you there that competition might push Aiden over the edge and make him better. Now, talking about all the competition, all right, let's move on from the quarterback, conversation. They say, hey, right now, in Tony Bova's book, all right, looking at the list of rookies that we have, okay, this is, of course, guys haven't been cut, things like that. Tony Bova, I want to know which guy you think is going to have the biggest impact on the Raiders this year.
Powers or
JPJ?
JPJ. I always lose I'm thinking JPJ because this is the reason. Bowers is going to have a great season. But impact where we need is that offensive line to keep the quarterback upright, open the holes for the running, and that nastiness that we need from the interior line. We can't just be like, we're going to block and we're going to try to keep the guy upright. No, we need him to be out there every day trying to, like, the whole... Marshawn Lynch had that video where he was like, running in their face, and he's like, and over and over and over. We need that over and over and over and over again grittiness from the inside of the line. And I think that's why the impact of the team will be better from him. Now, Bowers will have a great season, but we've had that impact in positions before. So we need more from somewhere where we need the bigger help, because we have a good tight end, we have a good passing game, we need the interior line solidified, and that's why I think the impact will be bigger.
You know what? I love the pick, man. When we're talking about JPJ, I think you're talking a guy that's going to upgrade our physicality on the O-line. He's going to make a freaking hole through whatever. I think he's playing left guard right now. So you'll see him pull. You'll see him do a lot of things. That means you're more athletic guard. So that means that he's going to pull, has good footwork, and we'll see him taking guys to the second level. Now, you said JPJ, okay? Since you already took JPJ, I'm going to go with, oh, man. This is where it gets difficult. It's like you said. Now, biggest impact. A guy that can have the biggest impact for us, of course, is going to be Bowers. Straight off the gap. It's going to be a guy that can touch the ball. He can do different things. He can stretch the field. He creates size mismatches on the outside. He can block. He can throw the ball. I mean, he does so many different things. And the reason is, everybody's like, dude, of course, he's their first-round draft pick. But, Tony, there's key things that you said, okay? We're talking about guys that are going to come in from the get and upgrade the position, okay? I think Michael Mayers is a great talent. I think that he's a great player. But let's look at the productivity and how it went down at that position since the last time we had a tight end. And to be honest, the productivity at the tight end position even last year was down. I mean, like, go ahead.
If you think about this real quick, the distance between Mayer and Bauer is not as big as many people will think. But the difference between the upgrade of the interior line is so much. If you use Madden ratings or whatever you want to use, if you're a video gamer, the difference is tremendous in that position. And I think it's going to be such an impact, like such a bigger impact, because yes, he's going to do great. And yes, he's going to be upgraded the position. But the distance of the upgrade is not as much as it was between the positioning, because I think we had a decent tight end that could block, get open, good hands, good in the red zone, good target. And yes, we're gonna have a lot more targets, a lot more stretch in the field, but you can't stretch the field if the quarterback's on the ground.
No, and I agree with you, and that's why I said since you took JPJ, I went with another player, because what I saw was this. I would agree with you. JPJ is probably the number one impact player. When you're talking about upgrading offensive line, I don't see DJ coming in and really, him and Thayer Munford are going to fight that out. I don't see him automatically starting. So that's where I'm like, it's going to be JPJ. I think JPJ is a plug-and-play guy. And Bowers is a plug-and-play guy. So that's where I said if you went that way, I went Bowers. The reason is because you went JPJ. And to not be repetitive, I didn't go like, JPJ too. Because
right.
I'll be like, let's be honest, you're right. I'll be like, JPJ is the biggest upgrade. He is a left guard that is going to come in, and he's making sure that the quarterback's blind side is protected as well. Everybody goes like left tackle, left guard is their blind side. Like I said, I mean, like, hey, he upgrades the run game. He's physical at the point of attack. He's a guy that's a finisher. So, I mean, like, at the end of the day, he's going to be our biggest upgrade. But, hey, Bowers is also going to have an impact.
Oh, he's going to have a great impact. But I think the Raiders need to get a IHOP sponsorship from all the pancakes that we're going to be serving up on Sundays, baby.
Bro, you know what? Let's look into that, bro. JPJ,
Right.
holla at your boys at the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. Hey, for every peak cake you get out there, we got a peak cake for you, bro.
Right.
So hit us up. Come on the show. Hey, for every peak cake you get, we got you at IHOP.
Right.
You heard it here, bro.
I would do that for a fact. Well, I'll have it delivered to the locker room.
We will personally deliver it to the locker room.
Just let me through. I got the cakes.
JPJ,
make it happen, Captain.
You hearing this right here? I hope you're out there. I know you're out there in YouTube land.
Someone can tag him in this.
Please tag. Hey, if you know him, tag him. How many PKs you get this season? Tony B, Raider Will, SB, Silver and Black Radio Podcast got you on those PKs,
yes,
baby.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go. IHOP. And Shit Show Joe says,
Raiders, bitch.
All right, brother. All right, guys. So we are now getting to the end of our show. I know that my brother up there in Spokane has an event that he wants to let our people know about today, baby. So, hey, give him that info, baby.
Give him the date.
August 17th.
Yeah. Titlow Park in Tacoma, Washington. You already know. We're going to be getting down with hosted by the TBH Seattle chapter with Portland and Spokane in support. Like I said, I'm not trying to take no shine. I'm just trying to get the word out. And we have the avenue to do so, so I'm doing so. They'll have raffles. They'll have food. I think burger and hot dogs are provided. BYOB, BYOW. If you know what I'm saying. We're gonna have a lot of support out at this event. We got TBH Lovelock on the way. We got TBH Reno. Of course, we got TBH Westco.
Let's go.
We got Portland, Seattle, Spokane. We're gonna have a lot of chapter presence out at this event, and that's what's gonna be really good success for me or for us is to get the word out and to show the growth of the event, going from a regional, statewide, maybe Northwest-wide event to where we're hitting multiple states, multiple chapters, like where it's becoming a destination event. So that would be at Titlow Park. Also, if you want to check our pages, we have the flyer, which has the hotel information posted with the thing. I think it's you don't need a code for the hotel reservations. You just gotta call them up, tell them what you're with the TBH event, and there's an automatic rate. I tend to forget at the moment what it would be, but it's really gonna be a great time. Small enough to where you're not gonna feel like you're lost in the shuffle, but big enough to make you know that you've been somewhere that was important. Like we've all been to some of the some amazing events, and they're just massive, and you're like, like you make your rounds, but you don't seem like you see. Oh man, you were there. I didn't even know you was there. I was over here, and you're gonna meet everybody. You're gonna get that homely feeling where you're with everybody. It's just gonna be a great time. So yeah, 17th Titlow Park, Tacoma, Washington.
Yes, sir.
Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on the start time. I think it was like late morning, early afternoon. But check the flyer. We'll have it posted on our spot. It's gonna be a good time.
It starts at 12 p.m. to 7 p.m., brother.
See, I was right. Late afternoon or late morning.
Yeah. And all right, guys. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that TBH Denver is having a family skating day, June 1st, 2 p.m. at Skate City, Westminster, 200 West 121 Ave. And it's going to be from 12 to 2. It's $8 per person. And they got a $5 pizza slice combo that they're going to have going on. So, guys, bring out your family. Again, this is why we love TBH, right, Tone? That we are family-oriented. All these events that you guys just heard are family-oriented events. Bring your kids, bring your families. Hey, we love them all. So, Tone, are we good?
We good.
All right, brother.
Super good.
As we know, it's all about one nation, one team. It's all about the Raiders. Let's go.